When working at a dealership as a salesperson, you're constantly looking at the deals, right? You're looking at rebates, lease structures, trade values, incentives, federal incentives on electric vehicles. You're constantly looking at deals. And sometimes as a salesman, your brain kind of flips and it switches and you start thinking like a customer. And let me tell you, once your mind goes from salesperson to customer mode and you're sitting on this side of the desk talking to yourself about why you should buy a car, you're as good as sold. You're gonna spot yourself. Let me tell you how this whole thing started, right? I was sitting in the sales office eating lunch, talking to Sal. Sal looks at me and he says, we don't have any cars sold yet for the day. I said, we got time. We'll definitely sell something. We'll get something on the board. To which he replied, while looking at me, buy a car. I said, Sal, can't buy a car. I just bought a car like 6-7 months ago. I don't need a car. To which he then replied, come on, man, trade in the Bolt. And that's all it took. That one sentence flipped my mind from salesperson to customer. And I asked him, well, you know what? How much is the Bolt worth? Really? It's worth that much? It's worth more than you paid for it. This is sort of a no-brainer. Let me see what he thinks. Maybe he wants to drive like the Equinox or the Blazer EV. All right. All right, what do we got? Here's the situation, Dave. You know what you paid for your Bolt when you bought that car new. And if you were to trade that vehicle into us now, you can literally get more than what you paid for the car. So it's like driving 30,000 miles for free. Well, I like that. I'm listening. Now, I know you like the EV powertrain of the Bolt. So what I would say is, what if you traded that car in and went into either a Equinox or a Blazer EV? There's a ton of rebates you qualify for because you already own a Bolt, because you're a GM employee. There's a New Jersey incentive. And if you lease the vehicle, you can take advantage of the $7,500 federal tax credit, which is still applicable right now. Okay. Not to mention, you're gonna get a check back for the value of your Chevrolet Bolt. Well, Dave, I got to tell you, I like what I'm hearing. You know, I didn't plan on getting out of the Bolt this quick. My plan was to keep this car for the full 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty. But, I mean, if you're telling me I can get more than I paid for the car when I bought it, like, it's a no-brainer. Let's go check out the Blazer and the Equinox EVs. Dave set me up with the Blazer EV first, so I'm just gonna take that for a quick ride. He said to kind of go down this road around the back. It'll give me a good feel. You know, this road is pretty bumpy, he said, so it'll really give you a good feel of the suspension and how the car handles. Like he said earlier, I'm a big fan of the electric powertrain. So like the instant acceleration, the quietness of the car, the handling of the car, like everything I like about the electric powertrain of Chevrolet. So I'm sold on that already. There's no issues there. The issue is, which I could tell already, because I'm so used to driving the Bolt, this car feels huge. It just feels so big, you know, and I don't know if I like that. I think I got so used to driving a smaller car that you can kind of like, you know, you zip around town, you park it anywhere. It kind of just, this is gonna take a little getting used to. You know, now the car is awesome. It's got a great infotainment screen here. You can manipulate these screens to show different things, which I'll show you in a second. It's very roomy. You know, for me being 6'5" and a bigger guy, like it's definitely, I'm gonna say it's more comfortable seat than the Bolt. Like I feel like I have more shoulder room or arm room or hip room, which, you know, obviously I do because it's a bigger vehicle. So I like that about it. They only have right now 3 in stock at this location, 2 white ones and a Galaxy Gray. Now, I'm not a fan of the Galaxy Gray, so that one is definitely out. And of the 2 white ones, they're basically the same vehicle, except this one has the sunroof, which you see over my head here, which I like. I like the sunroof a lot. I haven't had a sunroof in a car for the past couple of cars, so that would be something that's nice to go back into. The car feels great. Again, I'm a big fan of the electric powertrain and how they drive. What I noticed is the one pedal driving is not on at the moment, so I'm gonna press this button. And one difference with the new Ultium platform vehicles is you have off, normal, or high. So you can put a higher level of regen on, and then you also have that regen paddle on demand, just like my Bolt had. So everything there is gonna feel exactly the same, again, with just a little bit more of an aggressive one pedal driving. So when you let go of that throttle, you're going to slow down a lot quicker, which helps you get more range out of your battery, out of your charge. Acceleration feels great. You know, these electrics really, they take off quick, they get up and go. This is all-wheel drive, so that's a big difference from the last car. The Bolt was only front wheel. So in making this move, I'd be going to a bigger vehicle, an all-wheel drive vehicle, a faster, a vehicle capable of faster DC fast charging, because this can charge at 150 kilowatts. So to give you an example, if I plugged in my Bolt, I would get about 90 miles in a 30-minute charge. In this car or in the Equinox EV, you're looking at getting 80 to 90 miles in 10 minutes, 12 minutes. So it's definitely a lot quicker if I'm out on the road. Now, in my experiences with having multiple electric vehicles in a row, I don't really use it. I don't use DC fast charging. I generally don't go anywhere beyond what I can achieve on a single charge, or if I'm charging on a level 2, like overnight or something like that, wherever my destination would be. All in all, nice car. I like it. Again, it feels very big, and bulky compared to the Bolt. Now it handles great, it drives great, it's got good cornering, everything in that aspect is good. There's definitely more room in here for passengers, which is a plus compared to the Bolt. The infotainment screens are phenomenal. There is no Apple CarPlay, or in my case, Android Auto, because I'm an Android user, but this is a Google-based system, so I'm not really too concerned because I can log in and use most of the stuff I would use on my phone on here anyway, I believe. So I'll get into that a little bit, a little bit later if I decide to buy one of these. The last thing is this screen. I mentioned how you can change it here to different screens, including the navigation, which is pretty cool. So you can pull up Google Maps on here. Once it loads the roadway, we should see all the streets and everything, unless we got to hit. It looks like this one's might not be set up yet, but you can run navigation on here. You have your safety screen. You have like a stealth screen with very minimal information, and then back to the beginning. Oh, there's our map. Our map just loaded, so that should now appear on here, and there you go. So pretty cool. Like, the infotainment is awesome, the interior is awesome, but I really want to check out the Equinox as well, because I think the fact that that's a little bit smaller than the Blazer, even though it's bigger than the Bolt, I think that's going to be a better fit for me. So we're going to look at that next. Now, while Dave is out there test driving the Blazer EV and the Equinox EV, I'm just getting some stuff done. So I have another Equinox EV delivery that I'm getting ready, have all the paperwork, everything pretty much ready to go. Customer will be here in a little bit. I also have a customer coming in, or an appointment set up, I should say, on a diesel Silverado. So I'm gonna call, confirm that appointment, see if they show up. That's the benefit of letting your customer test drive the vehicle by themselves. They can be out there, they can enjoy the vehicle, they can pull over, play with all the buttons and knobs, and while they're doing that, I'm getting stuff done here. As far as the Equinox EV goes, we have 4 here in stock. These are all 2025s, Galaxy Gray LT. Again, I'm not a fan of the color. I'm also not, I like the white-ish interior, but not too much of a fan of that. What I do like is this, the RS. Now we have one in red, and there's one here in the gray. This is the sterling gray metallic. This is nice. I like the RS trim, the black wheels, the black mirrors, the black front bow tie. The interior has all like the red accents, which we'll take a look at in a minute. But this is a nice car, and this is something that's in stock that I could definitely see myself, purchasing, leasing, whatever, just based on exterior appearance. This is really cool. When you unlock the doors, or when you approach the vehicle, the door handles present themselves to make it nice and easy to just open the door. Great little touch. Inside, it looks just like the Blazer EV. So the screen setup, all that stuff is the same. Again, this one being an RS, you have like the red accents on different areas of the seats, on the door panels. Definitely more room in the back seat than the Bolt, not quite as big as the Blazer. I just looked it up. This is actually 7 inches wider than the Bolt, but only 1 inch narrower than the Blazer. Yet when I sit here, I feel more comfortable, like personally. I like the feeling in this car. It doesn't feel as massively big and maybe bulky as the Blazer does. So right now I'm already a fan of the Equinox EV. I also paired my Android phone to the system so I can see how all that works. You have a split screen here where you can use Google Maps, or you can use, you can see your radio features, things like that. Now this is Spotify, which Spotify you can run right on the unit here. You could also run Waze. The one thing I'm not a fan about without having Android Auto is I'm gonna have to go to Bluetooth to play Pandora. Now, once I do that, like I have Pandora running on my phone now, it shows it on the bottom. You can click on it and it's here. You can skip songs, but you're not gonna be able to go through like your titles and your channels and stuff like that. That you're gonna have to do on the phone. Like if I go down with my arrow, I can pick all my different stations and the stuff that I listen to, which you cannot see on here. And for whatever reason, the Pandora app is not in the Play Store. So when you do log into this unit and you go to the Apple Play Store, it's not in here. I don't exactly know why, but that's something that maybe would be updated in the future. I don't know. You do have Spotify, which I also use a lot. So if I wanted to use Spotify, that's on screen. You can see your channels. You can see everything that you want. Actually, if I pull it up for you, we'll hit that and we'll hit Spotify. And like, for instance, I go here to Spotify, Central C. I got a couple of podcasts. You know, I got the stuff that I listen to on a regular basis within Spotify. So it may not be ideal, but it's not like a life-changing change that you can't get around. It's gonna take this one for a spin, see what I think, go inside, work some numbers, and we may be putting a good deal together today. Another difference is this new electronic shift, which is really nice to use. It's very easy, it's ergonomic to the steering wheel. The difference is the Bolt had the wipers here. So I'm sure if I decide to do this, there's gonna be a slight learning curve to getting used to not trying to put the wipers on, you know, on the right-hand side, because that is now on the left-hand side. Again, not a huge inconvenience, just something to get used to. This Equinox EV does have the all-wheel drive option, so it's just like the Blazer EV we just drove. Again, that's a plus compared to the Bolt, where that was a front-wheel drive vehicle only. It feels just like the Blazer. I mean, it feels identical. It just feels a little smaller, which I think I prefer. The steering wheels are nicer. It's like a thicker steering wheel. It is a heated steering wheel. You have heated seats in this particular trim. So it has all like the normal comfort features that I had in the last car. So I'm not losing anything by going to this. I'm only gaining. This one being a 2025 even has the wireless charging pad up here, which the 24s did not. My Bolt did have that, so I am gonna keep wireless charging, which is something that I use every time I get in a car. You just pop your phone in there and charge it while you're driving. I don't know if you can hear that. It sounds like a motor noise. It sounds pretty cool, and I think there's a feature where you can actually turn that on or off. We're gonna check that out when we get back to the dealership. I can already tell you on just this short little test drive that I'm happy with the Equinox EV. This would definitely be the way to go. The Blazer's nice, mainly because it has the sunroof. Personally, the feel of this car, the color of the car, the RS trim, you know, the fact that the features are pretty much the same between both, I would definitely go with the Equinox EV. So we're gonna work the numbers out on this one and see how we make out. Dave, welcome back. So what are you thinking, the Blazer EV or the Equinox EV? After driving both, definitely the Equinox EV would be the way to go, and I really like that gray RS. So let's work numbers on that car. All right, cool, sounds good. Now I already have all the numbers together because while you were driving, since I knew the parameters of what you were looking to do, I got everything ready. So let's have a seat and see what you think. Dave, with the parameters we discussed, you wanted 12,000 miles a year, you want to keep it to a 3-year lease or a 36-month, and you want to roll everything in. Taxes, the New Jersey motor vehicle, the New Jersey motor vehicle surcharge. The first payment, rolling everything in, you're going to be at $336 per month, and that's essentially 35 payments. So for the course of this 3-year lease, it would be a total of $11,760 that you'd be paying. And remember, you're still getting a full check back for the entire value of the Chevrolet Bolt, which you can do whatever you want with. Now, I also did look at a one-pay, because if you do a one-pay lease and you pay the full value up front, it'll save you about $2,000. You're just under around 10. It's like the high 9s. I don't know if you want to do that, because then you wouldn't be able to take the money, like you said, and invest it in the market like you want to. But there is that option as well. That payment's fine. I'm good with that. I'll take the full value back for the Bolt. And then, yeah, my goal in the next 3 years is gonna be able to invest that money and actually earn the money I'm paying for this Equinox EV. So in 3 years, I can say that I drove this car for free as well for the last 3 years. So yeah, man, you got a deal, let's do it. The Sterling Gray Metallic Equinox EV RS. That's right, ladies and gents, we did make the move. I sold myself another car. We went into the Sterling Gray Metallic Equinox EV RS, and we traded in the Chevrolet Bolt. I did just pull them side by side here, just so you can see. I mean, definitely a much bigger, wider vehicle, better stance, sportier looking. I really like it a lot, the Equinox EV. But I gotta tell you, when I was getting rid of this Bolt, it actually hit me a little bit. Generally, I don't get all that attached to vehicles unless it's like an enthusiast car, right? Like one of the Corvettes, my Jeep Wrangler, things like that. These cars were really more like money moves. They made sense for me personally to be able to charge it. They were inexpensive. It just did the job. But something about this car being black, the black tints, the alloy wheels, there was something about it that I just really liked. So when I did trade the car in, I immediately had like that feeling of sadness. But I traded the car in and I left that day in a new Equinox EV. I drove it around. I got used to it in the first couple days, you know, to about a week. And I really like it a lot. Like, it really is, it's comfortable. It handles better than the Bolt as far as like cornering and things like that. Obviously, it's got like bigger tires. It's a wider stance. Like, it does hold the road better. And that sadness of me trading in the Bolt, like, it diminished pretty quickly. And then one day while here at work, I had to pull the car up front. It was in the back going through a certification process. I sat in the vehicle, and as soon as I sat in it and I saw the interior the way it is, and I was right up on the center console, the seat is right here next to me, I realized I made the right move. Like, the Equinox EV, it's a great car and it's a great upgrade if you're driving a Bolt and you want that next generation General Motors Ultium platform. Again, you're getting a bigger vehicle. If you go with all-wheel drive, you're getting all-wheel drive. You're getting faster charging speeds. Like, you're getting a lot with the car, plus the whole upgrade of the interior, the dashboard, the styling, all that sort of stuff. So it was definitely a great move. And if you want to upgrade to an EV, I'd be more than happy to help you out. So if you're in the North Jersey area, stop by Schumacher Chevrolet of Livingston, send me an email, give me a call, and I can get you set up. And if you're interested in a Bolt and you can move quick, because this car is not going to last, my Bolt is here for sale on the used car lot. As you know from watching the channel, it's a one-owner car. I ceramic coated the car. I baby my cars. No accidents. Like, it's literally a perfect vehicle. Right now we have it on sale on our website for $21,977, including GM certification. We have that one dealer documentation fee of $399. And if you qualify for the terms and conditions, this car is capable to accept that federal incentive on the used car. So I'll put that on the screen as well as far as what the requirements for that are. In any event, I thank you very much for watching. And I'm sorry this video came out a little late. With the end of the month being a little busier, a bunch of windy days when it was just impossible to film outside, it was a little hard for me to get all this done by Saturday morning at 9 a.m. But it is uploaded now. Thank you for watching it. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2025.